It is late. I don't know. Let me check. 10:32 p.m. And I was trying to relax, trying to read, or I even have a movie on YouTube. The Ghoul, 1933 black and white film with Boris Karloff. Classic. We love Boris Karloff and all the black and white classic movies, Dracula, The Swamp Thing, the Creature from the Black Lagoon, things like that. But tonight, I couldn't even really focus on this movie, but I leave it on anyways, just to have it on. And then I figure I'm going to read, right? Let's pick up a book and read. Maybe it'll put us to sleep. And then I pick up this book. It's the author is Vandana Shiva. The book is called The Oneness versus the 1%. It's very interesting. She is from Delhi, India, and she's a very anti-globalist scholar. She's a Hindu scholar, and she's very into pulling together as one everybody. And it got me thinking. It got me thinking hard. Okay, so let me start with an example that she points out in her book. I had to make notes. See, this is the curse of those that are over analytical sometimes. Sometimes your mind starts analyzing things faster than you can process it. You start writing it down. You just can't stop thinking. You can't get the wheels to stop turning. So my eyes are getting a little tired, so it's going to be a little bit of a tough read. But she talks about her country, basically, and that back before 1857 in what is now India, Pakistan, East Pakistan, those areas were run by both Hindus and Muslims. They lived coinciding. They did not identify each other as Hindu or Muslim. If you asked somebody what they were, they would tell you they were a gardener, a blacksmith. They identified with the community, no matter what religion anybody in that community was. They identified with areas that they worked. They identified with the people that they worked with. And that was their identity. They fought side by side against the, they threw out the, in 1857, they threw out the East India Company. They fought side by side and conquered bigger entities together. And then in 1857, threw out the East India Company, and then she says the Crown took over. The Crown, meaning England, Britain. Great Britain and the Crown was taking over everything back then. The French were fighting them. Everybody was fighting each other and conquering. And so the Crown, brilliant as they are, they established a way how to conquer this strong community. And they came up with the concept of divide and rule. They established divide and rule. And how did they do that? They started implementing censorship, fake identities, things that would identify people by religion. And when the people began to identify themselves by religion, they started to fight each other because of religion. Okay. Then it took Britain from about 1857 till, what was it, 1920? About 1920, and they finally were able to conquer this area. And now we know this area as Pakistan, India, East India. You identify the Middle Eastern countries. They are now our enemy too. And funny, before 9/11, we never really batted an eye at anybody that was Muslim. And now everybody is wary about Muslims and, oh, those are the terrorists. But now it's kind of slowly turning around to What's the new divide and conquer? What's the new divide and rule now? The vaccinated and the unvaxxers, the anti-vaxxers, right? It doesn't matter that we're all Americans anymore. It doesn't matter what religion we are anymore. It doesn't even matter what race we are anymore. There's still racism. That's one tool that they still use. But what is the one thing that they're really pushing right now? The vaccinated versus the anti-vaxxers. And I have to admit, I'm guilty of it. I sit there and see people who sit and talk about, oh, you need to get your shot. And I just shake my head at them. But that's where we are. And I bet you next year, there's going to be a new concept that's going to divide us. We are being taught to sell out ourselves. She says something very interesting in the book. It's more about we are all still a part of humanity, no matter where we're from, what we do, what we choose, how we choose it. We are one humanity. And whether we are for the vaccine or against it, that should be our own business. We shouldn't even be fighting each other over it, but look what we're doing. You walk into a store now without a mask, and you're going to have those sheeple. Somebody used the term sheeple earlier, and I know it was a serious conversation, but it made me smile because it's just a funny word. But the first thing these sheeple do, what do? They run up to you and they're like, "Excuse me, sir, you need to have your mask on." There we go. Divide and rule. And those people are the same ones that are going to run up and then help enforce the new mandate coming, that you will have to carry your multi-pass. What's going to be the new multi-pass? You're going to need your vaccination card in order to enter a building. And the sheeple will run up to us and require that we show it to each other. You know, in one of the stories when she was talking about this divide and rule, when it was happening in India and Pakistan, and these Indians, the Indian people, were forced to carry around paperwork that declared the census information that they participated in. They had to participate in it, and they were required to carry these papers. As a matter of fact, the Crown, the British soldiers, were even allowed to, at any random time, knock on their doors, enter their homes, and if they did not present papers that were legitimately proving that they participated in the census to identify their religion, their background, their blood, these people could be arrested. That is tyranny. It sounds a lot like what might be happening soon if you don't have your vaccination card. Martial law will ensue, or the military will be knocking on your door demanding to see your multi-pass. You will need to carry a vaccination card, or you may be subject to arrest. I don't know. YouTube's gonna take this video down and ban me for a week for misinformation. Oh well. I'll try to get some sleep now, but something to chew on. Is the new divide and conquer going to be the vaxxers, the vaccines versus the anti-vaxxers? I don't know. Not everybody that doesn't want the vaccine are anti-vaxxers. There's some of us out there that will get a tetanus shot, but not this frickin' vaccine. Not until they figure out how it's supposed to work, right? I've seen many of you have commented about that. 1 + 1 is not equaling 2 on this. What's the George Orwell's phrase? 2 + 2 does not equal 4. And it's common sense. We've got people that are naturally wary because these vaccines are not quite. You've got a vaccine that they've created in 6 months. The most effective polio vaccine took 7 years to create, and it still has side effects. Go ahead, YouTube. Take me down. I'm ready. I'm going to leave for a few days starting tomorrow so you can have half the week. Let's just beware that we're not playing into the divide and conquer that they're trying to push us into. Is this going to be a world where we sell each other out because, oh, he's vaccinated and she's not? I don't know. I'm going to read some more. Looks like Creature Features has got us on a intermission, so I'm going to get everything ready for bed and then watch the rest of the Creature Features. Yeah, I'm getting tired now. Alright, you guys. I forgot to tell you to stay salty earlier, so love you guys. Love each other. I guess that's the important part, right? We're still loving each other, even those people out there that are taking the jab, the double jab, the jabber jab. And then, of course, stay salty.